Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again in another useful noon hour. And today I'm really happy to welcome Stephanie Davidson. Um, like, she accepted my invitation. I'm really happy. She always does, and every year she comes and she talks about Eastern College and what they offer. They're absolutely amazing. They do amazing work. And I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
Thank you, Lita. I'm really excited to be here. I work at Eastern College at the Saint John campus, and I am an education consultant. So I speak to students looking at inquiring about programs with our school and telling them about our process, our philosophy, and what we do at Eastern College and what makes us different. So everyone basically sets up a call with me, and we go over all the details of how to get into school, how you pay for school, what are the career options, things that are happening in our community, and I help you with that process. And I've been doing that now at Saint John campus for 5 years. And we also have campuses in Fredericton, Moncton, and Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Ah, that's great. Thanks, Stephanie. So all the students, they come to you or for registration and some people, they even come, they're not sure what they want. And I know before, I guess before COVID, you gave me a tour and it was absolutely amazing. Like there were lots of things I didn't know that is been offered, and lots of programs and incentives and all that stuff. Of course, we'll talk about COVID, but so I sense, yeah, everyone goes to Stephanie. Is that how it works? Like if someone needs to reach out, you're the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm the first point of contact at Eastern College. So we do talk about, their past experience and what their goals are here in Saint John, and maybe they're new to Canada. So we'll talk about what they used to do in their home country. We may talk about, what they've worked, their home life, their family life, if they have children. Eastern College offers over 20 programs. So there's a lot of variety and a lot of different industry, from accounting to marketing to technology to healthcare and everything in between. So I am an education consultant, and my role is to really help get to know that student and help them along their career path on what they want to do with education. And I help them with that process.
Wow.
Exactly. And some people don't know really what they want to do. And that's why we go through everything about what the day-to-day looks like when you graduate. Eastern College mandate is to help students be job ready. So that's why our programs are specific to the market. We only run courses that have a lot of work in our community. So Saint John is a really industrial place. We have a lot of different opportunities here in Saint John. So we really focus on the healthcare and the programs and the businesses that are really up and coming in Saint John. So when I speak to a student, we talk about that, about what are the career opportunities, who could I work for. At Eastern, all of our courses have internships. So we help our students find that job at the end of the program, and that's really what makes us successful.
That's great. So basically you do like a market study before you even offer a course to make sure this is the need in the community. That's awesome. That gives a peace of mind to the students and the trust that, they're gonna, finish this kind of program, and this is the goal, is to find an employment and have a good life. That's beautiful. The internship, I know it helps a lot. Like in any program, if there is an internship, it opens lots of doors for people and for employers as well. Because, most of the times, and if they train someone and they like him or her, they're going to hire them eventually. So that's yeah. No, that's great. So
we have a dedicated employment services team at each of our campuses, and their role is
Mm.
is to really do career planning and preparation. So we help the student with their career goals. They give us a list of their 5 different companies that they would like to work for. And then we also have like a long partnership of all the companies locally that we work with. They call us almost every week saying that they need to hire somebody. They're looking for an accounting person. They're looking for a supply chain. So then our employment specialists will connect that student with that employer and help them to get in the door. And you're right, 98% of our students are hired after their internship. And that really is the best part about Eastern, is that you're going to get all your education, you get all of your courses and all that, and then at the end you're going to do an intern. And some of those internships are 4 weeks, some of them are up to 4 months. So imagine being at a company for that long. You really get to really mingle with the staff and you become part of their team. And that's why the success is high.
Wow. And how do you feel now with COVID regarding the classes and the internship? Is it still going? Like, I know in New Brunswick, we're really lucky. We don't have, any cases so far as we speak today. But I mean, we're really low, and it makes us feel like life is still going and we can accomplish a lot. But are you ready if there is another shutdown? How do you feel the colleges is reacting into that? And then maybe we'll talk about the employers as well with the internship, if it affected it at all. But how Eastern College is doing with COVID?
Sure. That's a great question. In March, when COVID first happened, we obviously had to act quickly, and Eastern College did pivot really fast. We did go from in-campus to remote delivery. So that means students are learning in a remote fashion, which means it's a virtual classroom. You're still taught by an instructor. You still have the online classroom participation. You're still doing video conferencing, and it's really interactive. So right now, our students are logging in from home during this time because of COVID, and they're still getting their lectures virtually. Our goal is to keep students safe and staff as well. So at least from now until the end of the calendar year, December 31st, 2020, we will stay in remote learning and until it's safe to go back. So New Brunswick is doing really well. We're really fortunate. We want to keep it that way. So we're watching as Health Canada changes and as things go on in the next winter months and the next semester. Our goal is to have students back in campus as soon as possible, but we want to make sure it's done safely. We do have a few classes actually in the campus. Our barbering course is.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, because there's no way. How can you do that? Yeah.
Yeah. You can't cut hair on Zoom. You have to cut hair in person, right? So, so they're in the classroom. Also, our personal support workers and our massage therapy class, and also our occupational therapy assistants are in the classroom as well. So it is, there's a lot of PPE, there's temperature checks, we have staggered starts. So we're doing things very carefully to make sure we have a small amount of students in the campus at one time.
And I guess you look at them as a bubble.
They are, that's right. They are a bubble. And our campus only has between 200 and 300 students at a time, like in the building, normally. And at the classes itself are usually 10 to 15. So Eastern College has really small classes to begin with.
That's great. Many people, they prefer that for lots of different reasons, of course, like attention to students and even the vice versa, the students, knowing what they want and the education. Yeah, absolutely. No, for sure. And how about the employers? Did you notice during COVID, the internship program with the employers, are they more hesitant or reluctant to accept this kind of program and have students, or you feel like it's normal kind of thing?
That's a At the beginning, I think it was challenging. A lot of businesses were closed, you know, back in March through June. But we really noticed once the bubble started and we started being able to see more people in New Brunswick, everybody opened up again. You know, most of our businesses are back and opening. Our employment specialist, her name is Lorene. She is busy. She is doing well. Our students are getting interns, they're getting jobs, we're getting calls. Just this week, we've had multiple people call us saying, okay, we need people. There's lots of jobs out there and things are back as usual, business as usual.
Great. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
I noticed, yeah, even with working in B and these employment agencies, like they, you know, the posts of job vacancies, there is a lot. Like people are hiring, employers are hiring. That's, you know, that's what it means to me. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you see it too. You know, it's Saint John is doing great and New Brunswick is doing great. There's a lot of opportunity here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And regarding your programs, like, do you notice do you have newcomers in your school? Do you have international students? Is there, you know, do you have this sector?
Absolutely, yes, we do. We are a smaller college, so we might not have as many as a university would have, but we definitely have international students every year. We see a lot of students from Africa, from Nigeria, from India, a lot of people coming from different parts of Canada even. So yes, people are looking at Eastern College. They're seeing us online. We do have a lot of success with our students here in the Atlantic provinces. So yes, we do have that. I'd say probably maybe 10 to 15 students a year. It's not 300-400 people, but it's definitely there, and our community is really tight knit. We do a lot of different events in the campus when it comes to culture. It's very diversified, and we have fun. So we love to have and welcome all new students in our school.
That's great. And you know, when you look at people coming from overseas, all these international students, what's the interest? Like, usually what kind of programs they like to take, and why do you feel like they wanted Eastern College?
Sure. At Eastern, we're known for our small community college. We are a very small family vibe, right? So I think a lot of people prefer that setting. They want to get to know their instructor. They want to get to know their classmates. A lot of students choose Eastern because we are 4 hours a day, Monday to Friday. So that means it's not a full 8-hour school day like a typical college or university. So classes are morning or afternoon. So it could be 8 to 12, or it could be 1 to 5. We are also a full-time school, which means we don't have the summer break. Other schools have the summer off, and that means classes are 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. At Eastern, the longest program we have is 2 years. And so it's a lot quicker. You go through your program, 4 hours a day, get your education, and go right to work. So we are very much a career college to get students working as soon as possible. We also are modular learning. So that means we only study one subject at a time. It's not 5 courses a day where you're doing, science and then English and then history. It's very structured, just like an onion. You have to learn the first layer, then the next layer. A lot of mature students come to our school. People in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. We have a 65-year-old student that just started with us this month. And this is her second career. And she's nervous, but she likes that it's a smaller class and that it's one class at a time. We have a lot of different new programs too that we're introducing, again, as the market's coming out. So we do notice a lot of people coming from another country that they're interested in supply chain. They see the demand here in New Brunswick and Canada for supply chain and logistics, and they understand working with different countries and imports and exports. They understand what supply chain means. So we see that. We also see a lot of interest in the technology sector. We see a lot of interest in the healthcare sector, a personal support worker in the medical admin program. I think a lot of those cultures care for their family and they care for their neighbors. So they really want to work in healthcare. And then once they get to Canada, they see, wow, there's a demand here. There's a demand for healthcare in Canada and in New Brunswick. We have a really aging population. We have a lot of work here. So I think they're researching, which is smart. Good job. Keep researching about New Brunswick because there is a lot of jobs, right? So healthcare is a really good sector. Supply chain, accounting, really they're all great. There's a lot of different sectors now that are really growing, and we have a new digital marketing program that we launched last year, and that's really successful. Great. That's going really well. Yeah, it's a lot about email campaigns and, you know, graphics and website content and social media. Everybody's on social media.
And especially so now really with COVID, that's exactly what everybody needs and wants, right?
Exactly. No matter what size business you have a marketing team.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's great. I want to talk about also locals who live here, whether they're newcomers or, you know, long time locals, but we have lots of newcomers, and there's still lots of newcomers are still arriving. And many of them, like almost all of them, they come in a middle age, like maybe I don't know, like I'm not trying to define the middle age, but they come in their 30s, 40s, even 50s, and they had a career back home. Some of them, they had a long career. But at the same time now, when they come here, they realize, you know, continuing in that career might be difficult or a long journey, and they would like to start over. Starting over in university, it's just sometimes it's not applicable because of time. They're already at an age, they're not that young to waste to spend another 4 years or so, and the money as well and all that. So what do you tell them? Like, how do you see these people coming when they're here? Like, how do you see them successful? Where do you see Eastern College can solve this issue? If I'm a middle-aged person, I cannot do whatever I did. I want to start all over again. Do you see people in this kind of category, and what advice do you give them?
Yes, absolutely. Great question. I see this every day. We see locals as well as newcomers that had a career sometimes for 20 years. You know, maybe they did, you know, an engineer in their home country for 20 years. Maybe they did accounting in their home country, and now they're in Canada. I think the best thing to do is to start looking at what's important to you. You have a family. Do you have children? Do you need to be home at a certain time? Do you want to sit at a desk? Are you okay sitting down, at a computer for most of your day? Some people like that. Some people want to be in an office environment. Other people need more go, 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 be busy, be up, you know, moving around and do hands-on. So that's really my first couple questions is if you have certain industries, you have to work a 24-hour operation. Healthcare is, 12-hour shifts. It could be nights. It could be weekends. If you have a family, that might not be a good option. So maybe looking into a supply chain industry, a technology industry, accounting, right? So looking into more of a business faculty might check those boxes easier than a healthcare program. But if you're younger and maybe your kids are grown, maybe you're in your 40s, 50s, your kids are grown, you don't need to be home at 5 o'clock, you have the flexibility, then I think the world's your oyster. You can take any program. But I think you have to look at your lifestyle, what's important to you. Do you want to grow within the company? Do you want to stay in one position, or do you want to keep evolving? Do you want to keep going in a career and keep growing and have different positions? That also is a question I have with them. So we really talk about a lot of things when I meet them to kind of find out. And at the end of the meeting with the client, normally they figure it out on their own. They say, okay, I don't want to work at a desk all day. I want to work with people. I also need to be home by 6, right? So then they'll start thinking about these barriers or challenges, and they'll think about what's important to them. You know, I do want to make a good income. I do want to make this. So that's the difference with us, is we really get to know the student, and then we start talking about the program and options. So it's not always about the career first. It's about the client and what's their needs and what's their career goal for them and their family. That's the most important part. And that's why my role exists, is to be a consultant and to talk about opportunities for them and to make sure that they're going in the right path. And to have a realistic expectation too. You need to realize that, you know, this career is demanding. This career pays well. This career is different hours. Or maybe you want to work 9 to 5 in an accounting office. Great. So that's what we do in the initial information session with the education consultant. We kind of go over all that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's absolutely great. Like these kind of opportunities for people, it's priceless, Stephanie, and you know that, like, it's just absolutely awesome. And I know many people, when they come here as well, they, like you're saying, maybe they have been also working back home these long shift hours, and whether in health sector or what have you. But when they're here, they want to change. They just want to have a totally different career path. And we encourage people sometimes to think this way. You don't have to be exactly where you were to continue. You can always have a new start, and it would be an awesome start. I know some people, they actually, they tell me, yes, I have this degree and I can work here in this degree, but I'm bored. I'm done with this kind of career. I want something different. And that's exactly it's sectors. Yeah. So you meet these people. Yeah. Absolutely. Do you have when you were at Eastern College, you have the classes, you have some workshops, there are some programs now, as you said, that's hands-on, they go back to school, but what do you offer for the ones that they're working and studying virtually? Do you feel it is the same kind of education? Is it affecting anything in their path to find employment? Do you feel the relationship between instructors and the students have been affected because it's via Zoom, or is it like, what I want to get at is, would someone feel like, okay, if I'm going to do that and it's going to be virtually, it might even affect my chances to find employment, because that employment counselor doesn't really know me very well, even the instructor doesn't understand and know my strengths and all that. Is it really affecting any, how do you feel, like, from the point of view of employment counselors and the instructors as well? Are they finding it hard, or is it working okay?
Sure, good question. I think at the beginning it was very challenging. You know, a lot of the students had their children at home. They had, different things, distracting them throughout the day. Out of all of this COVID situation, we all have definitely utilized technology. Our students have really done a great job of utilizing Zoom. We utilize Microsoft Teams. We are doing a lot of virtual lectures. We are still, when we can, meeting in a public place in social distancing. We might go to the park. We might do some activity outside. our students are still getting the same amount of education in a virtual world, because all of Canada, all of the world right now has gone virtual. We've had to pivot that. We've had to adjust. It hasn't been easy, but we are doing a really good job. And the students are, at first it was hard. They had to learn how to use these Zooms and do videos, and they had to make sure they had the technology. We also know that some children are still at home, and there's different obstacles. So we kind of are a little bit more understanding of that. You know, classes are still a set schedule, and our instructors are online. They're online early. They stay after classes to talk to their students. Every new class that we have an onboarding champion. That onboarding champion gets their username to them. They send them the links that they need for their Zoom and for their Teams, to make sure they download that on their computer. They also make sure that they're set up in the system properly. So an onboarding champion sends this out to the student and then calls them and says, okay, let's open this together. This is how you use this software. This is how you use this technology. Does this make sense? And this is before they start school. Every student has an onboarding process before they start into the campus, into their course, and before they physically start. Then we do an orientation with our campus director and all of the staff. So myself, our financial advisor, our employment specialist, all go on a call like this. And we all see our students. We all see their faces, we meet them, we talk to them like we have been for months. Right? We talk all the time on the phone. Now we get to see each other. So we make sure every student is set up properly. They have the right tools in place. They have the right technology, and that they're ready to go. So that is definitely how we are making sure that our students are successful. And employers actually appreciate how quickly students are evolving, because some companies are going to be remote now. Some, like we've had some law or paralegal students working from home virtually as an intern, because some of those firms they weren't with people, so they were doing virtual interns. So we've had businesses say, no, we still want the students, please bring them. We appreciate that they understand the virtual way now. That's been the feedback.
So you're really right on track and right up to date with what's going on, for sure.
We're trying. Yeah, we're hoping that things stay this way. We are prepared if we have to, go back, and if there's a second wave or what have you. Like, again, all of our students are ready and prepared to do a remote class at any time. Yeah.
Wow, that's perfect.
You have to keep it fun, right? Yeah.
It's a what, sorry?
And our instructors have done a really good job. It's really, they've really done a lot to help that student to get through. So it might be a little bit more work. All of the teachers right now are doing more work because of remote learning. We know that, high school children, all schools, right? So it's no different for Eastern. Our faculty is definitely putting in extra hours and making sure that our students are getting the education that they deserve and that they signed up for.
Absolutely. And you guys, honestly, at Eastern College, you always do amazing job, like always. Let me ask you about some of the programs. Like, remember when before COVID you had these incentives, like for people to for a haircut, like you would do it for free in a certain hours for the public. Same with massage and therapy and all that. Like, is that still going on, or there is a hold on this at the time being?
Yes, it's still happening. The barber shop is open. Before COVID, the shop was open to the public. You could just walk in anytime, Monday to Friday. Now it's a little different. We have to take appointments. So clients, the public is encouraged to come in to the campus and get a haircut, but you have to book ahead. You have to book an appointment. It is still free, but you have to set your time because we can't have 30 people in the shop. We have to social distance. So yes, definitely call the campus.
I didn't even expect that, Stephanie.
Yeah, still free, still happening. It's just now it has to be by appointment. And the same with massage therapy. You can still get a massage. It's $20 for an hour massage, and they're lovely. They're wonderful. And again, you just call the campus and book an appointment.
Wow.
Please,
so,
everybody call and make an appointment.
Yeah, there we go. Like, you guys, if you know, it's a call to all clients, whoever is listening. If you like to try them out, they're absolutely amazing. And I know many people, they go to the to both programs. Actually, I know personally many people did, and they love it because you know, the instructors are always there. They're in good hands. The service is absolutely amazing. Like, you don't feel like, you know, it's free or almost free with the massage. But yeah, the hair cutters are absolutely, the barbers are absolutely free. And the massage therapy, it is $20 per hour. Yeah, I remember that. So that's great that you still have it. And it makes sense for people to make an appointment to understand that.
Yes, please come in. We always need people to practice. Our students need those hours and they need those hands-on clients. So we really, really need the public to come in and to book those appointments. So please call if you're in Saint John. We'd love to see you.
Perfect. Yeah. And I will put the phone number, and if you guys, you know, want to contact me, if you want more information, just let me know, and I'll refer you to Stephanie. she's the best.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
Thank you. You're so kind.
I know many, even like friends I have, you know, we're not young anymore, and we're not, you know, of course, we're not old, we're in the middle. And sometimes they just want to have a career change. Sometimes they just want to move forward better than they have for whatever reason. And I know many of them, they actually joined Eastern College, and they're absolutely happy. It is definitely a life-changing for so many people. Yeah. No, I really appreciate all the work you guys do. Just a last question. I remember also before you guys did some kind of, I don't know what you would call it, some kind of incentives when it comes to the tuition, like a scholarship, or it might have had different names. If you have any kind of incentives, I don't know if you have anything now, but if you do, like, do you put it in public? Maybe if you want to even share it with me, and I'll share it with the clients. Do you have anything now, or you might have something maybe in the near future?
Sure, yes, absolutely. So at Eastern, we do have a financial advisor, and his name is Andrew. And Andrew talks to every student about their financial situation. Right now, because of COVID, Eastern College is offering a bursary to anyone who has lost their job because of COVID. So if you've lost your job in the restaurant or hospitality or tourism industry, if you're on EI, your job is over, we are doing a bursary. So that's a discount. It depends on, the amount depends on the program. So it could be $1,000 up to $1,500 discount. And that's something that I would speak to the client about, and we would need some documentation. But that's our bursary. Eastern College is doing that to help the students who are out of work. For anyone coming from New Brunswick, coming here, or any permanent residents, anyone that's been in New Brunswick for 12 months and is on a PR status, you could qualify for the grants and the bursaries that they've announced for this fall semester. Again, because of COVID, the federal government has done a lot of extra grants and bursaries for people who might not be working as much as they used to be before COVID. So there's definitely incentives when it comes to financials in the student loan side of things. and we do help the student with applying for those. So Andrew can speak more to that, but he does help the student with applying for all of those bursaries and grants federally and provincially. Any international students as well, there is different incentives depending on the course and depending on how long of a course you get into. And, you know, some of those discounts could be $2,000, $3,000, just depends again on the course and how long they are. But I could speak to that to the student as well. But we also always help students with the financials. That is another thing at Eastern College, is we make sure that, that every student is financially good and understands everything and has the budget in place before they start classes.
Wow, that's awesome. Do you help them also if they need to get a loan? Do you do that, or do you guide them where to go?
So Andrew does the student loan applications, helps them with the application. So that's his role, is to help the student do a loan application through Student Financial Services. So he'll help them with answering questions, you know, make sure that everything's filled out properly. He'll guide them through on the phone. He'll help them apply for the grants and the bursaries. He also helps with payment plans, and he'll help with a budget, and he'll look at their situation to make sure financially that they're okay and that they can afford to come to school. We also work with Veterans Affairs, we work with CISIP, we work with training, skills, and development. Anyone that's on EI, looking for the PEDAL programs, we work with them as well.
Wow, so Andrew almost acts like a financial advisor for people.
Yes, that's his job. He's the financial advisor.
That's wonderful. So if anyone is hesitant to make the first step and ask more because of any financial situation, it's worth to come and still talk to you and Andrew for sure. When it comes to enrollment, so you take, of course, like regarding the newcomers, you take permanent residents, international students. Is there any restrictions when it comes to newcomers, like language? I guess, of course, they have to have a good English level. How do you assess that? Like, do you ask students to do any of these language testing, or what's the process for someone, you know, coming from as a newcomer or coming from abroad?
Sure. The first thing is usually we can identify how their English is, usually with my meeting. So when I initially speak with a client that's looking at going to school, we can kind of determine how their English is. If their English is good, they understand me, I understand them, they came from an English-speaking country, perfect. Everything is great. If they came from an if English is not their first language, we do recommend that they have some type of English training here in the city. So maybe it's at your office, maybe it's at the YMCA, maybe they take some type of English training. And it's about maybe level 7 or so would probably be good, because that means that the student can read, comprehend, they can write. The challenge we want to avoid is a student coming into school and not understanding anything we teach. We want to avoid that. So having at least English level 7 from the YMCA, IELTS is great, TOEFL is great. Any of those international students, if they have a 6.5 in IELTS across the board, reading, writing, listening, I forget the other one, but if they have 6
comprehension, I think.
Yes. So if they have 6.5 across the board, perfect. They can come in. Yes, absolutely.
Is it mandatory, these kind of testings?
For international students, yes. International students must have English. Permanent residency, no, it's not.
It depends on our conversation together. If I come to you and talk to you, if you feel like I'm good, I'm getting it, you're not going to ask me for any proper exams or testing to provide, right? Yeah. Okay. Well,
It's
that's
kind of,
fair.
yeah, it depends on the person, and we will have,
Yeah.
because I've met with people and they had a translator. Obviously, that
Um,
person can't come to school.
yeah.
So if they have a translator, they're not ready. So they go to, they take English and then they come back to see me.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
makes sense. No, that's great. Is there any other restrictions or any other requirements that you could think of for applications
High
or
school
to come and see you?
high school transcripts in Canada or their home country. So
Mm.
as a permanent residency, I know that some countries don't have their high school or they don't give a transcript. So in that case, we do have an option called mature student. So mature student means that they have high school from their home country, but maybe it's not translated. Maybe it's in their language, it's in some type of diploma, and we don't really understand it. So we would get a copy of that, and we would have them do a test at the college called Wonderlic, and it's Wonderlic. It's kind of like an entrance assessment. It's in English. There's some English questions, some history questions, some math questions, and it just helps us to see where their comprehension is. So we would give them the Wonderlic test. Right now, because of COVID, we actually send a link in an email. So this can all be done at their home. They would do their test virtually. The other thing we need is a letter of intention to myself, just an email with a paragraph stating what their goal is, why they're here, why they want to take this program, and to accept them as a mature student. So if you are in New Brunswick, in Saint John, or if you're international and you want to come to Saint John, you want to study at Eastern College, you and I would speak and we would have a meeting, and I would see what you have for documents. If you don't have the right document, then you would come as a mature student. No problem. We can help with that.
Wonderful. Yeah, no, that explains it all. So if anyone is interested, even if you want to know more, you want to learn more, you're stuck somewhere in your life, you don't know what you're doing, where you're going, it's never too late. Like you said, Stephanie, you have a student over 60. So I mean, it is absolutely never too late. It's great you can work with the students regarding their finance and all that, and you care about them. It's not just about like, okay, here's your fees, just pay it, and that's it. You sit with the student to see where they are, what they're doing financially, how they're doing, and how it's going to happen. Like honestly, almost like a financial advisor. I love that, and it shows that you guys care. And just to have a peace of mind that 98% of your graduates find employment, that's huge. So there you go. It gives people hope.
Yes, we do. We help them from the beginning to the end. I'm with them every step of the way. Our campus director is involved. Our instructors are involved. Our employment team. So it very much is a family, and we really make sure that they're with someone the whole entire process. We make sure that they're comfortable, and we help them. Absolutely. We want to make sure they choose the right program and that it's the right thing for them. So that's why we take our time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, we definitely appreciate that. And I'm sure people today who are listening to us, they appreciate that. And hopefully that will encourage people to start thinking about their future and make the move. There is nothing to stop you. There is no obstacles whatsoever, even under COVID.
That's right. I would encourage everyone to look at the website too. Like they can go on easterncollege.ca, and all of our programs are listed there. There's testimonials there. There's videos, talks a little bit about what I shared today about small classes, 4 hours a day. So all of that information is on our website, and it's very easy. If you want to talk to someone, you can just go in the chat box and book an appointment, and I will, either myself or our admissions assistants will call, and they can definitely book a call to give more information.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good point, to visit the website as well and get more information, for sure. Yeah. And if you guys have any questions or need to connect with Stephanie, we have her contact. Either contact me and I'll send it to you, or we're going to have it at the end. Emily's going to put it at the end of the video. Like, Stephanie, do you have any last word you want to say to students or potential students?
Yeah, of course. So, you know, don't be shy. I think it is exciting, and it's normal to be nervous when you're looking into a new career and coming to Canada, coming to New Brunswick, being new. We understand, and we have other people just like you. And you're right, it's never too late to start education and to look into courses. I think it's good to explore all your options when it comes to education. So look at all the different opportunities. And I'm glad that you know what Eastern's about. I'm glad that today you kind of know more about us, and we're definitely here to help you along the way, whether you choose us or not. So we hope to hear from you. Awesome.
Very well said. Love it. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to us today, and have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. You're awesome as usual. Thank you.